IRB family. At the beginning, I must congratulate you to be the part of GIET University, and your dream must be to be a family member of IRB. So, this is a very unique building you are seeing, which is recognized the symbol of IRB. With this, I must begin with the topic that natural farming in India and over. My topic of presentation will be natural farming and its importance. Natural farming, what is the concept? Natural farming is principles and philosophy. Natural farming system model as a case study developed at College of Agriculture, Gunupur, Meghalaya. Natural farming, its constraints and policy issues and conclusion. These are the outline of my presentation, and step by step I will go. Natural farming, importance and issues. What are the issues and what are the for what natural farming is important? In the morning session, I have already informed the House the concern, the advice of Honorable Bapuji, Mahatma Gandhi, that the earth, the air, the land, and the water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but it is on a loan from our children. It is a loan from our children. We have to hand over to them, to our children, to our future generation, at least as it was handed over to us. This is the driving force behind the natural farming, which has been cautioned and advised by Honorable Bapu. Please understand the importance of this advice and words. The land, earth, the air, and the water are not an inheritance from our forefathers, but on loan from our children. So we have to hand over to them. At least it was handed over to us. So the responsibility lies in the shoulders of our young generation researchers. They are students. Please, it is your responsibility that the ecosystem to be restored and to be handed over to next generation. I just share with you the background. What is the background? There is a tug of war at present going on. Tug of war. Among whom? War among the professional scientists, high-ended top-class scientists, and the natural farming researchers or workers. There is an underground tug of war. Even I have gone several places delivering lectures on natural farming, but I never expressed to my colleagues, scientists, that I am going to present a lecture on natural farming. This is the situation at a higher level. At present, it is a initiation has been taken, but it is not at properly accepted. So there is a talk of war among the scientists. On the other hand, there are many natural researchers who have claimed and who have also established the natural farming in their farm, in their area. They give the example that you see how natural farming is working. It is a more productive and ecological sustainable. So I cite that one is the Subhash Palekar. I have been with him for 7 days in Maharashtra. I have seen practically how Gidabagate natural farming is working. At the same time, Natravali in South Goa, one farm I have visited, where I have seen a 40 years of farm with the natural way of farming. Deepak Sanjay in Nimar, Madhya Pradesh, a practitioner of natural eco-farming, NATO eco-farming. Similarly, Kailash Murthy, he is a natural farmer having a farm more than 40 years without using chemicals, and it is indigenously maintained farm. So these are some of the few examples available, and they claim that natural farming is very much possible, and you have to put the industrial agricultural farming, which is spoiling our ecosystem, which is deteriorating our natural resources and contributing to the climate change. So, this is the Kailash Murthy. I have visited his farm in the Mysore district in Karnataka, and it was really a wonderful farm. I must draw your kind attention to the advice of Honorable Professor Swaminathan. He is very much renowned father of the Green Revolution. He has also given a discussion of work that indiscriminate and unjudicious use of chemicals has led to several health problems like cancer and diseases through toxic residues of the chemicals. Similarly, he has also given a word of caution that exploiting agriculture without proper understanding and use of heavy dose of chemicals lead to a dangerous disaster in agriculture. So instead of leading to an era of prosperity, it will lead to an era of disaster. It is the question of Honorable Swaminathan. Here is the result of the question of M.S. Swaminathan that this is nowhere in Odisha in the Sundargarh district. The elephant in the rice field is died because of the rice field was heavily spread or applied with the pesticide. So this is the example of Sundargarh. Similarly, Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, which had bothered our planners, it was a big discussion in the parliament. Due to use of toxic chemicals, the cotton crop was damaged, and there were many farmers committed suicide, and there was also a problem with the crops. Taking this into consideration, our Honorable Prime Minister has given the advice or the statement that we have to liberate the Indian soil from chemical fertilizer. This is the statement address given by Honorable Prime Minister in the Natural Farming Conclave on 16th December 2021. I must draw your attention towards the present situations in Delhi in our country. What is the situation? Due to burning of the crop residues, due to the overuse of pollution, overuse of our vehicles, and due to pollution, the air quality index has gone 622 and above. It is 2017 I have shown. From 2017 till 2023, this November, October, the air quality index has become alarming, which should be below the 50 for a normal situation. That has gone to 622 is a very high alarming, and the school colleges were closed. The students were not allowed to go to school. This is the case of our Delhi, but this situation is percolating. This situation is percolating to other metropolitan cities like Mumbai, even in Bhubaneswar, the situation has also been observed. So our sole responsibility at present that how we can hand over a very healthy environment, an ecosystem to our future generation. This is a big challenge before us at the time when the natural resources are degrading fast. I want to draw your attention toward the present World Environment Day 2021 commitment, that ecosystem restoration. The ecosystem across the world is degraded, and we have to reverse and we have to restore the ecosystem. That will be a great thing for all of us. I must draw your attention towards a very good publication by Nature. In that publication, around one lakh literature or publication paper were reviewed by Sears Group 2030 conceptually. And in that, they have mentioned and they have also given their concluding remarks that the majority of the agricultural research, more than 95%, were unable to provide a solution to the needs of the smallholders and their farm families. And they have also advised to the donors ministry, to the donor organization, that there should be rethinking on allocation of the fund for the project approval, so that the small and marginal farmers, who constitute more than 80% in the world, they should be benefited. Here I draw your attention towards the issue of climate change. In the climate change, I have already mentioned that in the climate change, UN Climate Change Conference held between 31st October to 12th November 2021 at Glasgow. The environmentalists in large numbers, they have agitated and vowed the British Parliament that we must think of alternative system. We must think of alternative system against this greedy industrial agriculture. So that was another moment which directs us to go for natural farming. Similarly, I draw your attention for today's concluding Dubai Climate Conference. In that conference, it was planned to prepare a roadmap for net zero. What is that net zero? Net zero is to reduce the emission. This is a commitment against the addressing the climate change. So climate change is a big issue. I have already mentioned in my inaugural address. I must draw the attention of this, particularly the students at present, who are the future of our country, that they are living in a virtual world. You must agree to this, that without a mobile, you cannot manage your life. So without TV, without electronic devices, it is very difficult to survive. So we are so addicted, like a drunkard addicted with wine. We have made ourselves addicted to this virtual world. What is that? In this virtual world, we have very, very big house, but we have this small family. We have more degrees, but less common sense. Advanced medicine, but poor health. Touch the moon, but don't know who is our neighbor. It happens in a city like Delhi. So, high income, less peace of mind. High IQ, less emotion. Good knowledge, less wisdom. More alcohol, less water. Lot of human, less humanity. Costly watches, but no time. What I want to say that we are now trapped in the virtual world. We are trapped in the virtual world. But this also now bother us to go for a natural farming, a natural way of farming. Natural farming is a way of life. We are going away from the nature. Presently, in many places I have seen, they are going for digital fasting. You know, earlier we are making fasting to improve our health. One day we are making fasting, or someone who are fasting some other day, that our health will be better. Similarly, now digital fasting, people, there are students, there are people who are keeping their mobile aside. That one day, 2 days, they will be having digital fasting without mobile. So this year the situation come, and what will happen in future, we don't know. While we are planning, while we are moving, while we are progressing, we have a blueprint for all of us to work. For all of us, we have a common blueprint. What is that blueprint? That blueprint is Sustainable Development Goal. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, out of which 13 are directly or indirectly related. For example, goal number 1, no poverty. Goal number 2, zero hunger. Goal number 3, malnutrition. Reduction in emission. Clean energy. All these there are 17 goals. We have to adhere when we are progressing, we are developing. This is the blueprint for all of us. We have to adhere, we have to follow. It is a commitment from our side, from our country side. Our government has made a commitment that they will implement the Sustainable Development Goal plans for the betterment of the world, for the betterment of the society, betterment of all of us. I draw for you an elephant. 6 blind men touching an elephant. The elephant, in a holistic way, is an elephant. But a blind man, when he touches its tail, he says it is like a snake. When he touches the leg, he says it is like a trunk. When he touches his ear, it is like a window. When he touches his stomach, it is like a wall. So when overall picture comes, then it is an elephant. It has a big meaning. What is that big meaning? Natural farming is a holistic concept. It is a way of life. Even we don't consider our life in a longer way where we have begun, where now we are. In a short period, we flow in that. Life is originated, how it has evolved over the time, and how we have reached here. That routine we are not seeing. But I want to say here that natural farming is a holistic concept. To all the theories we see, it may be component. There is a big rule of the world, that is the nature. Nature guided by the big rules. We see a small rule of a component world and we flow in that. So the natural farming has a bigger principle. We have to think of that. And natural farming is our way of life. What is the biggest problem in our agriculture? Our agriculture is dominated by the component, by the commodity, by the disciplinary approach. That is the biggest problem. So when we are going for natural farming, that we should adhere to the holistic and system path. Indian agriculture is the detract by the component, by the commodity, by the disciplinary approach, and the agriculture trend is derailed. Who has derailed this trend? I also take the credit, blame, the responsibility that I have also contributed to derailing this agricultural trend. Because when we practice disciplinary commodity agriculture, automatically agriculture trend is derailed. So we have the responsibility that this derailed agricultural trend should put in the path of holistic. Otherwise, the sustainable development of the small and marginal farmer, the practice of natural farming will not occur in a proper way. Then I am coming, this is a part of importance and issue. I show before you, I shared with you that these are the concern, now these are the issues, and these are the aspects for which natural farming is important. Because in sustainable development goal, we have to reduce the emission by 35%. We have to improve the productivity by 80%. We have to reduce the hunger by 100%. So these are some of the commitments. With that, adhering to that, we have to progress. Natural farming. A natural farm is a complex, self-regulating, designed ecosystem. It contains a large variety of interdependent plants, animals, insects, birds, and microorganisms. It requires no chemical input, minimal physical intervention. Utilizes and enriches local natural resources. Natural farming is an ecological farming approach. Natural farming philosophy is working with the nature to produce healthy food, to keep ourselves healthy, and to keep the land healthy. This is the guiding principle. Natural farming is a diversified system, allowing the optimum use of the biodiversity. It is considered as a regenerative agriculture, a prominent strategy to save our planet. Natural farming concept was first given by a Japanese microbiologist, farmer, and philosopher. Who is he? He is Masanobu Fukuoka. Fukuoka, a microbiologist, a philosopher, a farmer, who struggled for 20 years by trial and error method in Japan, struggling all the way. But he has established a farm which was more productive, which was ecologically sound, and because of this, because of his efforts, he is the most influential person in the world. He is the father of the natural science, and he wrote a book, One Straw Revolution. He wrote a book, One Straw Revolution, in which he has mentioned the methods and practices of natural farming. So, next in India, who has made a breakthrough to making a movement of the natural farming, he is Subhash Palekarji, Padma Shri in 2016. He has introduced in India zero budget natural farming. But many people still now comment on him that it is not working, that is not working. But anyhow, he has made a beginning and from that his concept we scientists may revise, refine, and upgrade rather than blaming him. So this is my sharing. There are many variants of the natural farm. I will not discuss a lot on that. Natural farming, another is Rishi Krishi, Panchgabba Krishi, NATO eco farming, Homa farming, permaculture. These are some of the variants of the natural farming. You can find this description in the NITI Aayog website. So these are the variants of natural farming, and natural farming is a solution to various problems. It is recognized that if we go for natural farming, we are going to address the global warming. At least it is added that 1.5 degree centigrade reduction in global warming is needed, and for that people are adhering to the natural farming against the industrial agriculture. Then climate change, natural calamities, poor soil, organic carbon, and soil health. Farmers' distressed food and nutritional insecurity. These can be overcome with the natural farming. This is the benefits and solutions already recognized. These are some of the scope of natural farming. I will go skip this slide. Origin of the natural farming. Already I have mentioned Masanobu Fukuoka, the Japanese farmer, philosopher, and microbiologist. He is the first originator of this natural farming. He has given this concept, and he has told that there is no need of going for tillage, going for chemical application, going for fertilizer application, and weeding. So he established, he struggled for 20 years, and he established the natural farming farm in Japan, which is more productive compared to the conventional farming, and which is the ecologically sound and sustainable. Due to this, he is recognized as the father of the natural farming. Then permaculture is Bill Mollison, a Australian scientist or naturalist who has developed this permaculture. Similarly, all the concepts gradually developed. Natural farming under Indian context. Our Honorable Prime Minister in Paris, 14th Conference of Paris to the UN Convention to combat desertification, mentioned that we are focusing zero budget natural farming. Our Honorable Prime Minister has also recognized this and presented before the UN that zero budget natural farming we are practicing, it has some value. Finance Minister Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, the Union Budget speech, had talked of the need to go back to the basics and replicate this innovative model of zero budget natural farming for doubling the farmer's income. But Dr. Punjab Singh, the president of the National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, New Delhi. National Academy of Agricultural Sciences is a big think tank, giving many policies to the country, guiding the Indian agriculture, whose first president was Professor M.S. Swaminathan. A think tank. Dr. Punjab Singh was the president. He made a brainstorming at a NAS complex and gave the conclusion that zero budget natural farming, terming it as an unproven technology, bringing no incremental value gain to either farmers or consumers. So this is a contradiction have given by the scientists that I present before you. So you should not feel confused, but everybody is free to assess and give his comment. Who are the significant contributors of natural farming in our country? Who are the significant contributors? Before you, the photograph of Padma Shri Subhash Palekar, who has practiced natural farming, zero budget natural farming, with the backup in his mind that farmers are committing suicide because of the use of high costly industrial inputs. Their profits are shrinking. Under that situation, he has given a very low or lowest input agricultural practice in the name of natural farming. So, and the second person, he is the beginner of the natural farming in our India, Subhash Palekar. Fortunately, I have visited with him in Maharashtra for 7 days in a workshop. So, the second person is Sri Acharya Devavrat. Acharya Devavrat is presently the governor of Gujarat. He has taken natural farming to a new height by introducing a flagship program in Himachal Pradesh. Now in Gujarat, he is promoting and a great advocate of natural farming. I must draw your attention that he has established a natural farm at Karnal, not in Karnal, Kurukshetra. And in Kurukshetra, around 10 kilometers from Kurukshetra, you'll find a Gurukul ashram, and they have a farm. There they have already developed a farm in which they are practicing natural farming, and they have established a natural farm. So yours is also a Gurukul school is there. So you may have that opportunity to establish a natural farm in your campus. Sri G. Naval sir, Naval Bhar, he is a Tamil Nadu. He emphasized understanding the issues of farmers and to create a repository of knowledge and practices followed by the farmer. Each farm is unique according to the farmer's understanding and the conditions. He has also taken a movement to the natural farming. Here is zero budget natural farming, which I have already mentioned. He is the most influential person in our country, and he has made a social movement of natural farming. What you will not find in the institutional level, you will find in the farmer field. In Maharashtra, I have seen in several districts, natural farming is incorporated. Here you will find one farmer, Amulya Lakra, he will make presentation. He has, I surprised that he has popularized natural farming in Sundargarh district in a large area. So it may not be in the institution, but it is in the farmer. Even in Andhra Pradesh, a very nearby place from you, says that their government has taken a good initiative to popularize zero budget natural farming. You will find a number of papers on the study of the Andhra Pradesh. Zero budget natural farming that counters the commercial expenditure and things required for the growth of the plant are present around the root zone. He claims that the things required for growth of the plant are present around the root zone. There are 4 pillars as per Subhash Palekar method of zero budget natural farming. He relies on 4 pillars. One is Bijamrit, that the solution which we go for seed treatment. Similarly, Jivamrit, a nutrient solution prepared from cow dung, urine, and many other items and fermented. Then mulching, then workshop. These are 4 pillars of zero budget natural farming, and Subhash Palekarji practiced this for a long period and established. And I have visited his works and zero budget natural farming implementation in the pomegranate field, in the sugarcane field, in the banana field. There are many photographs with me, and I was surprised in people with thousands and thousands who are following me when I visited in that workshop in March. So though we are commending him, but anyhow, he has made a movement. I highly honor him, salute him for his initiative. I have already mentioned that our Honorable Punjab Singh President, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, they have given that it is harmful for technology. Before taking to the farmer field, we must evaluate, we must do more research, and so that we should take to the farmer field. Both views I honor their views. I am present before you as a speaker that what are the status, overview of the natural zero budget farming in the country. This is the national scenario. Around 6.5 lakh hectares area is covered under natural farming. The states like Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Odisha, Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. They are practicing natural farming in various ways. Natural farming in Gujarat, a big initiative by Acharya Devbrat, is the leader, and they are sanctioning many projects. They are making green natural farming corridor in Tapi and Narmada district. Gujarat Natural Farming and Organic Agriculture University is established in Ahmedabad. They have Gujarat state has established a natural farming university. It is their initiative. So the Honorable Governor Sahab program district level is going on to promote natural farming in Gujarat. Natural farming in Gujarat, their government is sanctioning projects. They have sanctioned 56.50 crores and 13.50 crores. This money in the form of project, they are granted. And their initiative for promotion of natural farming is very, very encouraging, and in a big way, Gujarat is going for adopting natural farming. Similarly, Acharya Devbrat has also introduced a flagship natural farming scheme in Himachal Pradesh that is also percolating in the Himachal Pradesh, and large areas are there. Natural farming in any region is very suitable because of the hill ecology, because of the forest areas, and that is very suitable area for natural farming. And nearly 90% farmer families are small and marginal. 15 to 25% land is suitable for agriculture. Under that situation, natural farming is a very good option. These are the advantages of natural farming. Natural farming philosophy. Working with the nature to produce nutritious food to keep human being and soil healthy. This is the philosophy. It is holistic, having the principles of holistic in approach, that Indian core philosophy, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Whole world is the one family. So that is the natural farming lies in this principle. So the principles of natural farming agriculture are rooted in the concept defined by Vidskar, the ancient Indian science related to the plant. So this is the philosophy. Then natural farming, what are the core practices at present going on in India? Natural farming, usually they take the tools as a natural farming. which I don't agree. It should be more holistic than input centric. That is my concern. I'll share in next slide. Bijamrut as a seed treatment, I have also mentioned. Growth regulator, Ghan Jivamrut, Gold Krupa, Kupanjal, Panchgabhya, all those things are growth regulation. Plant protection, Nimastra, Agnistra, Brahmastra, all those things for use for plant protection. Agronomic practices like Vasta, Achandan, Rising, all those things are the agronomic practices. So this is with respect to the natural farming practices the present follow. But whether this is sufficient to promote natural farming, that is a issue to discuss. Organic farming vis-a-vis natural farming. What is the difference between organic farming and natural farming? In organic farming, organic fertilizers and manures like compost, vermicompost, cow dung, manure are used added to the farmland from external sources. But in natural farming, the crop residues, the agricultural waste on the surface, they are microbially decomposed, they are decomposed by the earthworm, and they are used as a nutrient purpose to the plant. So there is no external inputs, and if it is somewhere it is utilized, it is to reduce to the minimum. Similarly, in organic farming, the basic agricultural practices like plowing, tilling, manuring, weeding, etc. are to be performed. In organic farming, the basic agricultural practices are followed. But in natural farming, these basic agricultural practices like plowing, weeding, fertilizer, organic fertilizer application, these are avoided. So this is the two major differences I have given. There are around a dozen of differences that I can explain. So now I am coming to present before you some case studies of the natural farming based on my own experience and working in that area. You can see a natural farming model in 0.6 hectare area. In a forest area, this type of patch of land was converted to a beautiful natural farming system model, utilizing the spring water harvest. In a fully forest area, this is the patch of the land we have taken and we have converted it to a natural farming system model. You can see how the model is looking. And before to that, you can see this is the pond area. You will see later pond. This is the untouched area. So this was made a good natural farming system model, utilizing the spring water harvest. It is a agro-tourism type natural farming system model. I will also present you other models also. So this is one example I can say to the one improved natural farming system model, which is the driver is the spring water harvest in two ponds, in the upper pond and in the lower pond. We have also taken apiary, we have taken local cows, and without any external organic input. It is fully organic. And we have also introduced bamboo-based drip irrigation. Students, drip irrigation is very important for judicious use of the irrigation water. So we have our GIET system for introducing the drip irrigation, but in the Meghalaya and NH region, the farmers still use the bamboo as a drip irrigation, gravity irrigation, utilizing the local resources. Bamboo is abundantly developed, so they utilize for drip. bamboo-based drip irrigation. I draw your attention to another model developed at our College of Agriculture, Gunupur, where I have been. I have introduced natural farming system model in 3 locations. I have mentioned here College of Agriculture, Rivoi district, Gunupur 6 miles in Rivoi district, and Lambrang village, Umlin in Rivoi district. All are in 15 acres. Okay, so you can see the cow. You see in the front there is a cow. That cow is Mithun. You might not have seen the cow, which is Mithun cow. Okay, so it is a traditional animal in Nagaland. In one Mithun cow, if a person is having 5 Mithun cow, which is here in the forest, just come to take water and salt like this, no maintenance. But if you have 5, you can be a rich person. So this is the model which has been visited by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Anupam Mishra ji, and Meghalaya Chief Secretary, Srimati R.B. Suchang, Chief Secretary, Government of Meghalaya. They have visited this model, and also many social workers, and also directors of many RMPs of ICR. So they appreciated that how the natural farming system is developed, and this is the way we should go for natural farming. I am showing you here that these are components of the natural farming. You not only that, Jivamrut, Bijamrut, Brahmastra, these should be major and principal tools. But the designing part is very important. Natural farming, which the people are not considering, that is the designing part. If you are going to develop a natural farming system model in your campus or in this region, you should consider the design part. What we have taken here, bamboo. In 15-acre farm, we have initiated, and we have taken bamboo 2 acres. We have taken broom grass 2 acres. We have taken large cardamom 2 acres. We have taken black pepper 1,000 plants. We have taken sisal, agava, sisalana. We have taken apiary 20 number. We have taken Mithun. I told you that cow, Mithun, is 3 number, and forest area still 8 acres. With this type of design, you can also get a economics or return as good as conventional agriculture. So design is very important. I can share with you that in Meghalaya, the turmeric and ginger is very good, and it was considered as a cash crop. But now, because of continuous cultivation, the turmeric and ginger is not giving return. In 90% of the cases, it is the farmers are disappointed. On the other hand, you will find the local crop, broom grass. They get 1 lakh rupees from 1 acre of broom grass, doing nothing. That broom grass doesn't need a lot of fertilizer. It is a traditional crop, and it has many other advantages. It is a soil binding crop. Soil erosion is checked. Similarly, bamboo is a regenerative crop. Bamboo is a regenerative crop. It does not need any fertilizer application. Large cardamom, sisal, you see. So this type of design is very important, and Mithun is their local indigenous cows. So if you design like this, natural farming will be a viable mode. You can see this how it looks to be natural farm. You can see this broom grass, this is bamboo. So these are very profitable crops and GST return. Second, you can see another farm, natural farm, 6 miles, 15 acres. The farmers do not want to replicate the North India, our corporate model. They have the mindset to go for natural way of farming without applying input. So they are going for shifting cultivation, so many things. How you will develop? We have tried and we have developed there also in 15 acres, 6 miles, Gunupur. Another farm I am giving the view That is also 15 acres. And here also we have developed. And they don't want to disturb their land to go for a commercial, industrial agriculture. So how we will give solution to them? You just develop what is there by just modifying the local situation to the minimum possible extent. So these are some situations and where we have tried to implement natural farming system model. We have taken a project, externally funded project, with the help of NABARD support, NABARD Shillong, under the Farm Section Promotion Fund. That project is integrated farming system for livelihood security and doubling the farmers' income through implementation of farm development card. In this project, we have intervened, we have made improvement of the situation and implemented 100 farm development card with the 100 natural farmers. We have that experience how a natural farmer who does not want to apply fertilizer, who does not want to go for industrial agriculture, how we develop and give them some income, double their farmers' income. That way we have made some significant impact in that area by addressing the farmers, natural farmers in a natural way. Here I mentioned that in the project, integrated development and integrated farming system through farm development card. Farm development card is a new concept. And in that concept, we give a customized business plan involving the natural farming system to a farmer. So that is the approach. And I have already mentioned designing of a natural farm is very important. So we have some scientific tools also to design the natural farm. I have also made and published it. So that is these are some optimization techniques which you can apply to design a natural farm at the farmer's field situation. So these are some of the tools of optimization tools. I don't want to bother or put pressure on the student's mind. So you please see that the natural farming system for farmers to farmers, you can have a common mathematical model which you can apply from one farmer to other farmer when their land size is different, when their resource availability is different, when their manpower availability is different, when their family requirement is different. So under the situation, this model can be applied, and with this model we have intervened. We have implemented farm development card with 100 farmers in Meghalaya, which has created a good impact in the farmers. These are some of the models we have developed for the natural farmers with the optimization tools and techniques, which we have found that the natural farming model can be comparable with the traditional farming there. You can see here Miss Divya, a natural farmer in Meghalaya. I want to present her situation before you. How will you intervene? She is a natural farmer having large areas, around 60% his area is under broom grass. She is doing bamboo and she is having pigs. All those things we have given a business plan with the natural farming more, and she improved her income and employment opportunity and livelihood. These are some of the visitors visited her farm, like the Honorable former Vice Chancellor Dr. Tanveer Singh ji, Vice Chancellor Nehu, Deepak Sajjad, so many people like the Sushil from Director of Bangalore, all people visited and they assessed how natural farming, the natural farmer can be improved. This is the farm development card I have presented before you. That farm development, you have heard of the soil health card. You have heard the soil health card. It is a component approach. Farm development card is a new approach. You can go through the my paper in Advances in Agronomy, published in 2022. That farm development card is nothing but a customized business plan for individual farm. So how this is customized? This is the farm development card I present before you. and this is another farm development card. So with this approach, you can precisely handle the farmer situation and give a proper business plan to meet his or her goal. So now I am finishing the limitations of natural farming and I'm finishing. Adoption of natural farming requires the sound knowledge of agroecology. It needs only descriptive but also analytical knowledge for each ecology. Limit of scale of operation in natural farming and its dependence on community participation. This has the tangible and non-tangible benefits. Profitability in natural farming is not directly comparable to conventional commercial farming. Standard technologies for management of crops and farming, commodity and component and disciplinary approach. These are the policy issues. Research backup is needed. Input-centric system, input-centric approach should be shifted to the system approach. Research and development support is lacking in some places. It has been given to go for natural farming research and development, but in most of the states there is no much emphasis. Developing natural farming system model under North Indian situation. Always people say in North Indian situation natural farming is not possible, but from my understanding, from my experience, I always propose that it should be first started with the North India. Otherwise, our future generation will forget what is the natural farming. And we will end up with our President Sahab bole ki India nation of disease, nation of sick people. So that will happen, and we will have no answer to that. So North India should adopt at least 100 natural farming system model to be developed of 20 to 25 acres. Always I am advocating this concept. Mindset of the researchers, development agencies and planners is very much needed, and carbon trade benefits initiatives to the natural farmers. Police support should be given to benefit such farmers from various sources. I am finishing. These are the constants I have already mentioned. Conclusion that suitable blending of the natural farming system with the modern scientific approach is the need of the hour to promote natural farming system in the region. There we need to give focus of development of such system for better utilization of local resources and conservation of the biodiversity. The performance of the natural farming system can be improved through proper design and management of practices in a scientific manner and through potential to provide economic as well as ecological benefits at par with the conventional systems. With this, I thank you all the students listening patiently and all the faculties and audience for listening to my lecture session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. for giving a nice on the natural farming and our review. I hope and trust the students will learn so many things on natural farming and inspired to act in his direction. Thank you again, Dr. Mayor.
Lastly, I must share that my teacher, Dr. Santosh Kumar Panda, your dean, and Dr. my teacher, Dr. Mahapatra sir, is my teacher. They are a very sincere teacher, and they are with you. You are fortunate enough. We have got the mentorship, the guidance to a great extent for which we are before you. So I feel very proud. I feel very proud to present before K.D. Mahapatraji and Dr. S.K. Sundar. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So we are running for 5 minutes. Now for speaking back, it's a request from Dr. S.K. Sharma, ABG, HRM, ICR New Delhi, to give the second keynote address on natural farming, opportunities and challenges Please.
Good afternoon to everybody. I think my voice is audible. Am I audible? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Sir, we are honored to have you amongst us in online mode. We heartily welcome you to this August gathering.
Hello. Yeah, I'm very. I am there on the online mode. No, but my speaker is on. Is it audible? I am getting the voice from you. I think I am speaking, but nobody is hearing there, I think. Hello? Morris. Hello? Is it audible? Okay. Good afternoon to everybody.
Sir, am I audible?
It's really my privilege to be the part of this very important strategic workshop that is on a very important topic, that is natural farming for agricultural sustainability under changing climate scenario. I extend my hearty gratitude to the organizers and especially to Dr. UK Behraji for giving me this opportunity. And my topic of presentation is basically on the natural farming in India, opportunities and challenges. So I am sharing my presentation. Where is this one? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hello. Is it visible, sir? My slide is visible on your screen or not, sir?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are visible, but slightly now. Slightly not visible, but your voice will be audible and you are visible. You can, but slightly.
Screen is not coming. Actually, I am. Yeah, I am coming on the entire screen and it is showing my this.
Start from here.
Okay, I will just mail it. But why it is not coming here? It should come on this screen, no? Yeah, I have gone to screen, then it is the entire screen.
You can also expand for it and you can share.
Hello.
Can you again share the people?
I am.
Again close that. Yes, now it is sharing. That's why
It is coming the whole screen, but now that my presentation file is not visible in this, no? My screen is clear.
You have to share when that gets registered. Now that's one thing you have to do. Okay, sir. Now I can share.
Is it visible? Hello? Okay, sir, it is visible now? So, sorry for interruption. Now, my topic of presentation is natural farming opportunities and challenges in India. I think already a lot of things have been mentioned by Dr. Beheraji, and I shall be putting my ideas on the once our country was on the track of the non-chemical agriculture, and out of that organic agriculture was the priority area. But out of this non-chemical agriculture, now we are taking a little bit area from either chemical agriculture or organic agriculture towards the natural farming. So why this has been important in our country as well as at the global level? So we will think this direction of transition from organic to natural or from chemical to the non-chemical natural in a food system wheel model, that why it is more important for a country like India, and why the distinction is at the level of the philosophy and the practical level, but in terms of the data source at the country level, both of the streams are being reported under through the schemes under the one umbrella, that is organic natural farming. Then what are the research and development aspects which are important with respect to the status as well as what is to be done in the time to come? And what are scientific issues where if we can take our strategy well, finally we can be the world leaders in the non-chemical agriculture. Then steps for transition toward the sustainable agriculture. And as you know that when we take the new form of the development or the scientific issues, these kind of opportunities are always there. So what is that balance trade-off where the natural farming can be promoted? In this background, I take you that the facts that so far the green revolution was the need of the hour, but that was the very technology specific. In the most of the research was the discipline bound and giving the less emphasis to the full social and ecological systems, and that's why now in the last 10 years there has been a full emphasis that there should be the new system-based research which is needed to consider the full ensemble processes and the feedbacks from the different corners of the society. We can see that human youth is increasing, our life expectancy is increasing because of the new technologies. But very two important things have emerged out of this whole recent technological developments and the need of the human being, that our regulatory services are continuously declining. There are reports from the UNO, reports from the WHO, reports from the biodiversity boards, and at the country level as well as at the regional level, there are the reports that now in the time to come by 2003, 2047, 250, 2070, 280, there are unfavorable predictions if same kind of the business as usual approach in our agriculture productions continued. If we are not able to take care of our soil health, especially And then later on, the ecosystem support services and third parties, their integrated mode of interaction, if it is not taken by the scientists as well as the policy makers as well as the farmers level, so whatever the changes will come into our soil system, water and supporting services, they will be beyond the control of the human and the scientific experience. That's why there is a dire need that we have to change our business as usual approach to the new system of the agriculture that we call the non-chemical agriculture to certain extent, because there are multiple global drivers which are forcing us as a push and pull factors toward the adoption of the those agricultures which are nature supportive, and these streams are generally called as the for the basic purpose of their upscaling at the larger level, we call it as in the stream of the non-chemical agriculture. So these are the climate change, our exploitation of resources, invasive species, pollution, faster economic growth, and global degradation. So out of all these driving factors, these are causing the productivity enhancement, but at the same time, the social and ecological interaction with these enhancement productivity and the secondary effects of the green revolution, it is resulting into the agriculture ecological imbalance that we now the people has taken that if we are the part of this nature, we have to keep the care and we have to put some tax in form of the green tax or what we call now the ecological economics for this caring of the nature in anyhow, whether in terms of the premium prices, whether in terms of the policy, in terms of the your medical cost, something would be there that you have to pay extra for caring of this. And that's why the important issue has now arisen that if the same growth is continued for the next 50 to 100 years, I think our production will again fall by 50%. If this natural resources are not taking into care. So this is what we call our land and ecological security would be in danger. And once the land and ecological security is in danger, our food and nutritional security will automatically will be in the danger. And that's why everybody is now emphasizing that we should think about the food system wheel. And this, you can see on this slide that this food system wheel, so far we are not thinking in this way. You can see there are three important angles of this food system wheel. Circles are there. In this food system wheel also, the priority is the poverty as well as the food security, but it should be governed across the for different, what you call this, production, aggregation, processing, distribution, and this consumption. Now people are telling that now because of the concept of the healthy diet, and the awareness, the health awareness among the people, some part of the food diet is now shifting from the conventional diet to the healthy diet and what you call this organic diet or natural diet. And earlier, before last 20 years, in the last 20 years or 25 years, we were just thinking about the production aspect that there would be the yield increase or decrease in organic or natural farming. But now, because of the policy measures, the global policies, regional policies, as well as the system development in terms of the marketing, distribution, and the infrastructure support, the whole system transition is taking place towards the favor of the non-chemical agriculture. And there are again two branches, organic and natural. So this is governed by the two important factors, that is the societal elements and natural elements encircling to all these developments, where the organizations are developing in now our country regarding the organic and natural farming. And since last 10 years, a lot of things have been taken into policy measures for the development of the natural farming. Then policies have been changed in our country in the favor of non-chemical agriculture. Now, simple agroecological concept has come into the policies, and these policies are now being implemented in the form of the certain acts. And it is being under consideration in the education system in the form of the degree programs, in the form of the specific courses, specific diplomas, specific certificate courses in the non-chemical agriculture, in the ecosystem services, into the quantification and valuation of the ecosystems, as well as now the policies they have come that it is becoming a part of the regulation in several countries. I think more than 40 countries they have adopted that. Now they have accepted the carbon trading as a measure, where the natural farming policies, where the organic farming production policies play a very important role, and that is contest. So this whole food system will is developing in the favor of, though the percentage of this food system is very low. We will discuss how much it is. But when we talk about our Indian food system, so there are basically, if we just don't take into consideration based on the agroclimatic zone classification of the food systems, but we take three approaches: that production-based food system, then subsidy-based food system, then market-based food system. Here, the analysis and the reports regarding the survey of the Indian food systems, it indicates that in the food system, if we talk about a family household or a person, then out of the total calorie intake by the family, 40% calorie is taken by our production-based food system, 30% calorie is from the subsidy-based food system, and rest is from the market-based food system. This indicates that now food system is changing, and if you talk about the subsidy-based food system, it also indicates that there is a large population which is below the poverty line, small and marginal farmers, where a lot of population of this country is getting the food from that distributed through either PDS system or by the other incentives given by the government. This indicates that in spite of this all our increase in the productivity, increase in the food grain production system, still our food system of the country is governed by the other factors because of the resource conditions, resource poor conditions of the farmers or the general population in the country. Now, these food systems have considered the parameters of the consumption from where they are getting, how much they are producing, how much they are processing, what are the policies available, what are their environmental footprints and socio-economic factors. So this indicates that environmental footprints and socio-economic factors govern the type of the food system in our country. So when we talk about the sustainability of this food system, then definitely factory productivity is declining. Earlier, with the use of 1 kilogram of NPK, we used to produce around 12 to 13 kilograms of paddy per kilogram of NPK. Nowadays, down to the 3 kilogram. Now, production diversity is decreasing. Earlier, more than 43, 44 crops were the major crops. Now it has been reduced to the 9 crops only. And sustainability of rice wheat, it is known to everybody that 450 to 500 kilogram NPK, it is being uptake from the soil, and that diversity from the intercropping then to the 3 rotational system, today's come to only monocropping. And it's very important aspect that in spite of the increased productivity of the food grains, increased facilities, the malnutrition conditions of our country, it is still not in the good position. Around 77% of Indian households and survey is malnourished. So this indicates that we can change our business as usual policy. Only the parameters which are leading to the higher production will not work for the food security and the nutrition of the country in the time to come. And there are different aspects that why we should stick to this. And another part is that 40% share in the total calorie intake is from the home produced food. So still the 40% of the total that food production system in our country, if we consider that it is from the locally produced, can we think of getting the advantage out of its benefits to the environment, benefits to the community, benefits for the employment towards another stream of the agriculture, that is the carbon positive or nature positive agriculture, what we codified as a natural farming or organic farming. Now, the very important aspect of the organic and natural farming is that the environmental footprints. With respect to the environmental footprints in our country, if we discuss about the environmental footprint, that what are the opportunities for our country, then land footprints for our Indian food systems are still lower than the United States of America and higher than the Chinese diets. But in certain states in our country, Punjab, Haryana, and Western UP, our environmental footprints are higher. So we have to think of that what kind of strategy, either input substitution or the alternative system of agriculture or a transformative agriculture we have to take into these states. So with respect to the greenhouse gas emission, per consumer unit, it is around 1.3 to 2.19 kg carbon dioxide equivalent per day. Then land footprint is 3.89 to 6 square meters per consumer unit per day, and water footprint. Why this is being calculated and why this is being shown with us to our food system here is that we can prioritize that there are different opportunities for the nature positive agriculture or natural farming existing in our country, and it varies from location to location and state to state, because greenhouse gas emission is increasing, our ecological footprints are increasing, because to meet all kind of the services from the nature, and requirement of land per capita is increasing. It indicates that our resources are generating, water demand is increasing, and that's why the water footprint is also increasing in our country. So in which areas we have to plan? So we have to think that where the comparative advantage with respect to the greenhouse gas emission, land footprint, water footprint, beside the nutritional aspects and more, in those areas natural farming should be a better option. So what is the need of the intervention is that we should understand the Indian food system and household needs in its holistic way. So one part is understanding the food system need of our country and our people. Another part is understanding the needs of the planetary requirements which are there at the global level. There are two very important opportunities and the scale of consideration which are important if we try to shift from chemical to non-chemical farming. That is the global scale, and another is the national or regional scale. So here, because in our country food security is important, so we pay a lot of attention on several crops. We moved from the diversified agriculture production system to intensification, and then we try to have the judicial input use in our farm boundaries or planetary boundaries, but still, in spite of our higher productivity and production, there are other issues that large number of small and marginal farmers couldn't get the benefit out of it. So still their agriculture is small, food in agriculture around 10 per hectare. And we are in intensified agriculture, we talk about the 4 per hectare agriculture. So there is a lot of gap. Now, second important part is sustainable and healthy diets in response to the climate change and migration of the farmers from rural to urban areas and the health co-benefits. These are the parameters which are now emerging at the national level in terms of the business aspects as well as trade-off aspects. So either organic or natural farming, both will take the lead at the national level. First, in terms of the policy measures, that policy makers put all these aspects in terms that we need the food security at the priority. And food security can be ensured at the longer terms when our source land is ensured, water is ensured from the agricultural areas. So with that respect, policy makers think that some part of the country where there are natural advantages are available, we should focus on the non-chemical agriculture. Second part is the health consciousness of the consumer, that we need the healthy diet, we need the carbon-free diet, low nitrogen diets. Then third part is the business aspects in terms of the carbon market and ecosystem services where trade-off effect can be taken. And fourth dimension is international market of the export food, that is the health or natural. So that respect, now the government is concerned not only the production part, but the whole food safety and food supply chain through the non-chemical agriculture aspect, that area should be selected in the block way or in terms of the village or in terms of the district, so that all production can be taken care of, all processing can be taken care of, delivery mechanism can be taken care of, safe handling can be taken off. So now the question is not only the availability of the food grains, but it is the comparison of the availability of food grains versus the same right to all system stakeholders, those people who are healthy, who are really rich, and who can pay off the good premium for not only for the healthy diet is required, but for all, even small margin farmers, even the poor who are living in that community, that landscape, they are also in the need of, even the animals who are there in our system, they also need the healthy diet. So for that purpose, the concept of the food health has been introduced, and which is taken care of by by the non-chemical agriculture, and what we call it as the natural. Now question is, organic farming is already interwoven, a concept which is already being promoted at global level, and it is increasing day by day with the different growth rates, area, then market, and the consumer preference. Now, question is, what is the theme that we are shifting from conventional non-chemical agriculture, and the only basic point is how much of our total production system can be shifted from our conventional agriculture to the naturalness. Whether there may be the different kind of the streams, there may be the different kind of the philosophies for shifting from conventional agriculture towards the naturalness. Here, naturalness means it is the intrinsic value of the nature. Do we consider the basic value of water? Do we consider the basic value of air? Do we consider the basic value of our biodiversity? Do we consider the ecosystem provisioning support services provided by the different agents of the nature for the higher production as well as the benefit and the welfare of the human in any way? Because in the traditional days before 1947 or the chemical agriculture, all kind of the intrinsic value of nature was there, but that balance was need to be taken in the favor of higher productivity, and that's why new production strategy was introduced, intensified technologies were there. So other value system of the nature was not taken into so much of the consideration, and we became the targetful toward the production only, and that's why our transition at that time in terms of the incentives and capacities. Capacities means our infrastructure, institution, every institution targeted the maximization of production and the productivity are all incentives for the fertilizer subsidy, and other subsidies were there. Even subsidy on the machines, everything was there. That whole structure was there in terms of the enhancing or maximization of the productivity. But now, because of the kind of our thinking and the need of our different feedback and the loops have emerged, where a lot of problems have emerged. Now, how to remove these problems, how to remove these negative loopholes from our current production system. Three main skills are emerging into the system at the different levels, either at the farmers level, at the level of the ecology or what we call landscape level or community level, and there at the district level or policy level. So here first is either we should choose we should transit from this chemical based agriculture production system to that we will use only the natural substances which are available in the locality. Another part is we will use or develop such a system where the self-regulation of the living organisms and ecosystem takes place. There is a auto system of the self-regulation, means biodiversity will be maintained, ecosystem will be maintained, community-based agriculture and ecosystem, animal integration, crops, algae cropping, and others will be there. Then third part is the respecting the characteristics of the nature of living. So three things to provide the naturalness into our production system, and government, not only at our country level, but at the world level, FAO as well as the WHO and the different commissions, they have asserted that in a one or another form, either in the all three forms, we can adopt the transition towards the naturalness. And third part is that we call it as the normative element of naturalness, that we call integrated approach, where protocols have been framed. Because either you take this aspect for yourself, farmer can adopt this particular policy or the parameter of naturalness for the field itself. Then strictly if it's for the farmer's field, there is closed cycle, then it is called as the natural farming. If it is strictly farm or it's self-regulated with the native ecology nearby within the same locality or up to the village mark, again it is the strict mark of the natural farming. But the third mark, if a farmer is following non-chemical approach, agroecological approach, but he has a normative element that he will adopt only those elements which can be taken from the outside, but which are within the standards and the protocols of the international the organizations, the standardization, which protect different elements of the nature into the long term, what we call the organic farming. So there is a philosophical as well as the practice-based differentiation between the practical aspects of the naturalness at the ground level, and that we bifurcate into the organic and the natural farming. Natural farming indicates that it should be within the farm, all natural substances which are available on farm should be used, and there should be the closed cycling of these. So we, at the same time, it is not necessary that a natural farm where 100% closed cycling is being done. There is a self-organization of living organisms which is available on the farm. So not necessary that all natural farming field which are existing, they are adopting the policy of agroecological approach, that is the self organization of living organisms, because it indicates about the functional mechanism and the functional approach with the landscape and functional approach with the field itself, and their interrelationship with the other components of the, either it may be trees, it may be livestock, it may be the design part, it may be the water part, it may be the your different water conservation measures, it is biodiversity maintenance, which will definitely govern the self-organization of living organism. That's why whenever we teach the concept of the natural farming system design, we have to not only just say about that it is the it's just the avoidance of the chemicals, it is just the close use of the on-farm resources available with the farm, but at the same time strict regulation of the living organisms within the integration of the all these biodiversity within the system along with the 5 elements of the nature. Then only we can call it that in true sense we are approaching toward the agroecological approach. And that's why a lot of literature is available, the different case studies are available, and that's why Indian Council of Agriculture Research thought that out of the so many ideas, concept available, there is a lot of content is now available. Now content was categorized and populated in terms of the subjects, and then subjects together were merged together, formulated in the form of a degree course, so that the true knowledge and the skill of the natural farming in the right perspective, it can be transferred to the different stakeholders, and basically first to the universities and colleges, where the student will learn the right knowledge and the skill. Because what we feel is everybody feels that just not using the chemicals, antibiotics or synthetic fertilizers, and just using the farm residues or the animal dung there, it is only the natural farming. This is a kind of natural farming, but being the scientific, in a scientific discipline, our second purpose is whether the self-organization, a self-regulating system on your farm is being operated in terms of the combination of the crops, in terms of the combination of the different elements of your farm with your 5 elements of the nature, means living organisms, crops, animals, trees, horticulture crops, your forest, grassland, their self-regulation system. Now there are scientific studies and reports and our experiences as the scale the of operation of the landscape increases, the self-regulation of these different living and non-living components increases. And that's why the schemes are now being dovetailed that it should be in the cluster approach, it should be in the block approach, it should be in the district level approach, it should be in the state level approach. And that's why government is emphasizing that natural farming is more feasible at the community level, at the village level, at the district level, because everybody can use, do away with the chemical fertilizers. But the self-regulation part cannot be built by the individual farmers if the sufficient landscape is not available. And that is one of the important parameters when we choose to devise a farm. And third part is normative element of naturalness, which also important in natural farming to the present conditions. Because what should be the protocol for the natural farming in terms of the greenhouse gas emissions, in terms of the water holding capacity, in case of the carbon sequestration, and to gain the positive side of the ecosystem services or natural parameters, there are different quantification scales, and then comes to the standardization of your farm with respect to the natural indicators. So this constitutes the non-chemical farming and what we call the natural farming. So now there is a question that already the organic farming is becoming a buzzword at country level, and it is also in the well-developed shape in terms of the standards are well-developed at the world level, global level, in our country level. But still, it's not increasing at the speed it was thought of. The share of the organic agriculture is only 1.6% at the global level out of the total agricultural land. In our country, it is around the 3%. Now, question is, when we talk about that, there should be the healthy diet, there should be the balanced diet, should be the protection of natural resources. We should have the strategies in agriculture so that there is less greenhouse gas emissions. So, concept of the organic and natural farming, they are promoting it, but still the kind of area, the growth in the area and the market is there, it is still low. So why it is not percolating? And above it, now we are talking about the natural farming. So what would be the opportunities and the challenges which are there? Now question is, our country is already the leader in terms of the organic farming, in terms of the number of the producers which are doing the organic farming at the global level. Out of the 37 lakh producers, India is having around 16 lakh certified producers in the organic farming, which ranks at the first position in the global level. But still, our contribution to the export in the organic farming, it is less than the organic products is less than the 1%. So this indicates that there are certain constants, not only at the level of the productivity level, but at the infrastructure, processing, marketing, and the system level, which needs to be tackled in terms of the transformative approach. This now, but after the at the country level, it is recognized that year 2000 is recognized as a milestone year in the history of the organic farming, because we realized the secondary effects of the green revolution, and it was realized that in some form our second ever green revolution can be brought when the certain elements of the biodiversity, elements of the integration of the animals, and then the organic matter, green manuring, and some part of the organic agriculture practice is introduced partially or completely in some areas. So Government of India introduced that program, national program on organic production, and because of that, our exports increased. Even the domestic consumption of the organic foods started increasing. Now, after 2005 and 2010, a lot of schemes are there at the national level to promote the organic agriculture. But you can see that after 2014-15, now the initiatives of the government has also taken another alternative agriculture form, that is the natural farming, into the from Now it is in the niche area, but now government is thinking that how natural farming can be taken from niche area to the mainstream area in the agriculture production system. We all know that either organic or either natural farming at a larger scale, more than the 25% of the area, it is not possible because there are certain challenges. But you see that the PGS initiatives, both in organic and now in natural, and state initiatives by the several states, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Himachal, Rajasthan, and UP under the natural farming, then value chain development in the organic value chain, the development for the Northeast region, Prakratik Parampragat Krishi Vikas Yojana in 2015, then announcement for natural farming in Union Budget in 2019 by our Finance Minister. Then its further extension as the Bharatiya Prakratik Krishi Paddhati in 2020, then ICR's the attention was paid towards natural farming research in 2020. The National Mission on Natural Farming started in 2023, and National Committees on Natural Farming by ICR started. Several committees were formed by ICR in 2019 to 2003. This indicates that a portion of the production system in our country is transiting from the conventional agriculture to the natural farming, and the first step and the first booster that has been given by the policy makers, because there are certain issues with the organic farming. Why we are shifting some part from organic to natural farming? It is because of the certain issues that every farmer, organic farming is not in the approach of the every farmer. Despite that, market of the organic farming in our country is increasing by 1 to 3%. Our area is increasing by 1 to 1.5%, and our export is increasing from 5 to 10%. Even then, now some instances are available with the organic farming where the large scale upscaling is not possible. The first reason is the higher cost of the inputs which are there with the organic farming, large farmyard manure to be purchased from the outside, even the seeds from the outside, even large weeding and other practices, a lot of questions. Then second is the availability of the large amount of the organic matter for the to follow up the protocol of the organic farming. Then third is organic farming is well suited to where all resources are well saved to the either the large scale production or the export production by the farmers. Now, looking to these concerns, that government of India thought that both organic and natural farming are alternatives to the chemical farming with respect to the ecological gains, with respect to the social gains, with respect to the economic gains. If we compare both the organic and natural farming with the conventional farming, then biodiversity benefits are higher by 25%. Soil and water conservation services are better, and it is conservation by 10 to 30%. But with respect to the organic yields, it is assumed that 20 to 25% is less than the conventional yield, and in natural farming, it is, as the national estimates indicate, it is around the 30% if we talk about the comparison with the intensified or intensive chemical agriculture. But when we talk about the comparison of the natural farming yield with the benchmark yield where the farmer is operating at the low input level, yield increase have been observed in several case studies. Employment increase is observed there, then low cost of production and medical cost and labor needs. So looking to the social and ecological aims, Government of India earlier thought that 2% of area under organic agriculture, then 10% by 2050. But these targets could not be achieved in spite of a lot of trust by the Government of India. Even the priority areas were taken for hilly areas and the rain-fed regions. It is because the higher input cost as well as the large requirement of organic matter and then the market constants were there. But now, looking to the present, our food security conditions, food grain growth rate, it is now estimated that assuming the growth rate of 3% in output, 2.8% in demand, and 30% yield penalty in organic farming, India can safely shift 2% area each year from conventional farming to organic farming without creating any shortfall in supply to meet domestic demand. This indicates that at least 50% of the area of the total net zone area in our country can be converted from organic farming to that conventional farming to organic farming by 2030, and government is promoting and launching the policies at the country level in this regard, that we have already discussed, that now 1 crore farmers are being targeted through the National Mission on Natural Farming. And from the 2023 already, the National Mission on Natural Farming have been started for the 7.5 lakhs of the farmers in the country, where they are promoted through the capacity building programs, through the input support systems, as well through the market support systems. Now we will discuss that what is the rationality and what are the opportunities in terms of the we can discuss the opportunities in terms of the whether it will be higher or not from the under the low input conditions or medium input or higher input conditions. What will be the profit scenario for the farmers who are marginal, medium, and large farmers? Whether those farmers who are under low input conditions and with the if they shift towards chemical farming, they have the higher input cost. If they manage with their own resources, what is the cost and what is the increase in the yield of such farmers who are already operating at the low input cost? Then are there any opportunities for the business for such farmers if they can be supported in the business groups and the FPOs by the farmers? Are there livelihood opportunities for such farmers in the agriculture sector, on the allied sector, or there are opportunities for upscaling their low input farming into natural farming, or are there opportunities for strengthening the local economy if we take such kind of measures with the support of the government and the local community and the support of the market? Are there independent demand from the consumers from the natural foods, and how much the market is available? Then looking to the global aspects, that there is a need or demand for the export and the demand for the voluntary carbon market. Can we meet out this global demand of the voluntary carbon market by converting our low input farmers into the natural farming and supporting them to take the value of their carbon credit into the system? And can we reduce the greenhouse gas emissions as a national targets and can take the advantage from the natural farming aspects? Then another is the very important aspect at the global level is to meet out the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals. There are 169 indicators of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and more than 2,160 there are the parameters where these can be evaluated. Now it has been thought that out of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, 17 development goals are directly being met out from the if we adopt the practices of the natural farming. So at the global level, there are the opportunities for our country and different developing nations and developed nations if we shift from the conventional to the natural farming. We can have our age towards meeting the sustainable development goals. Now another part is the land and ecological security and degradation. This has an important opportunity. Then there are multi dimensions of the opportunities which are existing at the global level and the local level that can be provide the opportunity to our farmers who are already in the default mode of the natural farming and protecting the different parameters of the natural capital, either soil, water, biodiversity, species, or fairness within the system, not harming. Many countries have started the green tax at the global level so that any kind of the commercial activity in the agriculture is being done. It will be liable through the green tax. Either a company is being set up or a industry is being set up where some production is being taken up for either fertilizer, pesticides, because they are damaging the local ecology. So green tax is another opportunity. If by taking such kind of the awareness program, orientation programs, if such things are taken into our studies in the university setup, and our students are made aware of all these things, there are now the job opportunities in this sector. Then trade-off. If we increase the productivity in the green revolution areas, or in areas where the we want the maximization of the productivity, can we have some trade-off cost that if we increase the productivity, the other parameters in terms of the carbon, in terms of the greenhouse gas emission, in terms of the uh, reduction in water table in the area, if such cost can be calculated and it can be added, and that cost in terms of the kind of the premium, it can be distributed to the farmers of where such policies are being taken by the farmers, then definitely it will balance, it will promote the farmers. And finally, there are opportunities at the institute level now. Many institutes are coming under the zone of this net zero carbon emission, where net zero ecological footprints, where now the time has come that without such kind of studies, that is the ecological footprint, carbon footprint, water footprint, every institute has to calculate what is their net zero carbon emission, whether they are carbon neutral or with respect to the ecological footprint over the time. At the village level, at the tehsil level, at the institute level, such parameters are to be implemented, and that's why in the time to come, those who will be aware of all these facts and will take the business or any kind of the activity or start some entrepreneurial activities in agriculture and allied sectors, they will be more advanced. So here there are certain perceptions and there are certain doubts in the mind that we need to discuss advertently, that can organic feed the world. I think such kind of questions, and can natural farming feed the whole world? So these questions are not comparable with the conventional farming, because neither organic nor natural is feasible for the 100% area. Already, not today, since the organic farming policy in our country was started in 2005, it was clear in our country from the beginning, or at the global level since the beginning, because at the initial level, the organic farming or the natural farming was started as a reactionary alternative agriculture to the our chemical farming because of its side effects, because of the side effects of pesticide, because of the fertilizer pollution, because of the problem of the soil and soil degradation, because of the multi-nutrient deficiency in the soil, and because of the other problems, because of the pollution of the pesticide industries or fertilizer industries. But the question that can we feed the whole world through the organic, there are several research studies as well as the extrapolation studies which indicate that we cannot feed the 10 billion of the population in the time to come through the organic farming, because it needs the extra land, because yield is reduced by the 25%. But in those areas where, in spite of all your efforts of the intensification and the higher technologies, we are not able to increase the productivity of, for example, tribal areas, rain-fed areas. In spite of all your high-yielding varieties, your good water, there are certain ecological constants where organic farming and natural farming principles work better. Where from their benchmark yield, if we follow the principle of natural and organic farming, with the two principles, definitely there will be increase. So there are opportunities are available in many areas where we can increase the benchmark in those areas, looking to the high capacity potential of those soils and the areas. So another part is there are different dimensions, not only productivity, but there are multiple food systems existing within the socio-economic and environmental variation within the same country. So we can focus that in those areas where the local consumption is more, we can provide the incentive to those farmers to pursue the natural farming, the organic farming, and we can dovetail these practices of the already we are following for the benefit at the country level or at the global level in terms of the quantification of their valuation, the advantages which they are contributing to the natural capital. Then there are certain research studies which indicate that we can feed the world more sustainably with organic and natural farming with the non-chemical agriculture, provided we also take into consideration the aspects of the our not no wastage of the food and the equal distribution of the food. So there are different aspects. Hello, आया सर मैं आया आ रहा सर आ रहा हेलो ठीक 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 आया ठीक हाँ आ गया So these are the different aspects, and I think, sir, if there is any question, we can discuss. These are the important aspects. There are many opportunities that exist for commercialization of healthy diets. Then value chain development and commercial model opportunities are available. Then national priorities are also there. Future export potential priorities are there. With respect to the business and startups, it has emerged as a sunrise industry. And there are projections at the country level that both organic and natural farming, if adopted up to the level of the 4% at present with the target, then we can enhance the both export as well as the employment in our country. But there are certain challenges to increase the yield, and there are various research studies are required where the research and the backup is also we have listed out at the ICR level in the several committees and in the also in the All India Network project on organic farming. Now the R&D work is picking up in the case of the natural farming, where they will decide that in which crops, which area the natural farming with the diversification and intercropping is more feasible. And in the time to come, there is a need of the certain protocols in the natural farming. Once the protocols will come, so far only the based on the case studies of the farmers, we were adopting the natural farming practices. But in the time to visualize this, natural farming protocols will come, quantification targets for carbon will come, and economic aspects of the natural farming will provide the benefits to the farming. And it is clear that 100% organic farming is not feasible. On natural farming can be done and commercialized in those areas where the trade-off effects can be measured and it can be calculated in favor of the farmers. Another is where the government support infrastructure development and the community participation and value chain models can be created. Organic farming can be as far as scale for the domestic and the international market. So thank you very much for the patience hearing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. During the night, we have addressed natural farming, opportunities, and challenges in India. I think our attendees and the students will be immensely benefited by your talk. Thank you once again.
Thank you, dignitaries, for enlightening our young minds with the very purpose of natural farming. Moving forward, may I now request Dr. Manoranjan Mahapatra, Professor, Department of Agriculture Extension, School of Agriculture, GIET University, to please offer the vote of thanks.
So, good day to all of you. Respected Chairman, sir, Co-Chairman, eminent speakers from ICF, and dignitaries and student friends, I have the privilege to offer vote of thanks in this end of this technical session. So I offer vote of thanks to our Dr. U.C. Behera sir, who has given a meaningful thought and expressed his views and enlightened us with some case studies of his own experience. And for that, sir, on behalf of this university and faculty of SOG and dignitaries, I offer you my vote of thanks from my core of heart, and thank you, sir, for enlightening our students. And also, I offer vote of thanks to our ADG sir, Dr. Santi Kumar Sharma ji, who has given a nice presentations on opportunities and challenges of natural farming. And on behalf of the organizing committee and our university, I offer vote of thanks to you, sir, in your absence. And I offer vote of thanks to the chairman and all the dignitaries present over here and students. And I hope the session will continue after by 3. Just it will continue at 3. So all are requested